I am 92 years old, and when I say that out loud, it still sounds like a number that belongs to someone else. 92 years means I have lived long enough to watch entire worlds rise and disappear, to see ideas become movements and movements fade into footnotes. I have buried my wife, the only person who ever truly knew me without effort. I have buried friends I once believed would stand beside me forever, men who shared my table, my secrets, my laughter, and then quietly slipped away one by one. I have even buried enemies, men I competed against, fought against, tried to outwork and outmaneuver, only to discover that time humbles everyone equally. And somewhere along that long road I also outlived a former version of myself, the man who worried obsessively about reputation, about being admired, about winning the approval of people who would forget his name anyway. That man did not vanish suddenly. He eroded slowly, chipped away by experience, disappointment, and regret, until what remained was something simpler and far more honest. When you reach my age, death stops being an abstract concept. You don't need metaphors to understand it. You feel it in your bones, in the stiffness of your joints, in the way mornings arrive heavier than they used to. You can sense when the road narrows. I am standing at that narrowing now, close enough to the edge to see what waits below, and before I step forward, I want to turn around and speak to you, the ones still running, still planning, still convinced the night is endless, because from here, the truth is painfully clear. You are living inside a lie. You believe you have time. You move through your days as if they are cheap, interchangeable, endlessly replaceable. You spend hours the way a careless man spends loose change, without counting, without respect, assuming there will always be more in your pocket tomorrow. You treat your life like it's backed by an unlimited reserve, like tomorrow is guaranteed simply because yesterday showed up. It isn't. You are not wealthy in time. You're already spending from a balance that cannot be refilled. You understand this intellectually, of course. You've heard it before. You nod when someone says life is short, but you don't feel it. You don't feel the quiet pressure of it against your throat. You don't wake up with the awareness that each ordinary day is a non-renewable resource. If you did, you would not live the way you are living. Let me tell you about a man named Jack. It was 1968, and Jack was my closest friend. He was sharper than I was, more charismatic, more confident, and far more certain that he had life under control. Jack was brilliant in business, relentless, fearless, the kind of man who could dominate a room without raising his voice. One night, after closing the biggest deal of his career, we sat in his office drinking whiskey. He leaned back in his chair, cigar smoke curling toward the ceiling, and smiled like a man who believed he had finally beaten the clock. He looked at me and said, 5 more years. That was his entire philosophy. 5 more years of grinding. 5 more years of sacrifice. 5 more years of postponing joy. 5 more years until the number was big enough, until success was secure enough, until life could finally begin. After that, he said, he would take his wife to Italy. He would learn to paint. He would slow down. He would finally live. Jack had a plan. 3 days later, he walked out of his office building, felt a crushing pain in his chest, and collapsed on the sidewalk before he even understood what was happening. Massive heart attack. He was 42 years old. He never went to Italy. He never painted anything. He never reached the life he kept promising himself. Standing over his casket, I realized something devastating. The tragedy was not that Jack died. Death is inevitable. The tragedy was that Jack spent his entire life waiting to live. He treated life like a rehearsal, like a hallway leading to something better, and the door at the end never opened. A week after his funeral, I went to help clear out his office. His calendar was packed months into the future. His inbox was overflowing with urgent messages, meetings, deadlines, obligations that no longer mattered. The world did not stop because Jack died. His company replaced him within weeks. His clients moved on. Within a year, most people could not remember his name. And when I look at you now, I see Jack everywhere. I hear him in your promises to yourself. I'll slow down when this phase is over. I'll take the trip when things calm down. I'll repair that relationship later. I'll start living once I get there. There is no there. There is no later. There is only now. And if you keep trading your present for a future that is not guaranteed, you are making the most dangerous gamble possible. Look at what you are sacrificing it for. You are obsessed with accumulation. Bigger homes, newer cars, better technology, symbols of success that quietly own you instead of the other way around. You buy things you don't need with money. You don't have to impress people whose opinions do not matter. I live in one room now. I have a bed, a chair, and a photograph of my wife. Once, I had a large house, expensive cars, closets full of suits, garages full of things I barely touched. And I'm telling you this with the clarity that only the end of life provides. None of it mattered. I have been to more funerals than I can count, and I've never seen a moving truck following a hearse. When you die, strangers will walk through your home and throw most of what you cherished into a dumpster. The rest will be sold for spare change. That is the final value of your possessions. So, why are you exhausting yourself for them? Why are you missing your children growing up to pay for objects that quietly steal your life? It is madness, but you will not recognize it until you're too far along to undo it. Let me tell you about the night I thought I had won. In 1979, I was named Businessman of the Year. There was a banquet, applause, speeches, praise. For a brief moment, I felt invincible, like I'd cracked the code. I brought the trophy home. The house was dark. Everyone was asleep. I sat alone at the kitchen table, staring at that piece of glass, and realized the applause was already gone. The people who cheered did not love me. They loved what I could do for them. The people upstairs, the ones who actually mattered, I had neglected for months to earn that moment. I missed games. I missed anniversaries. I missed ordinary evenings that would later haunt me. And for what? That trophy is lost somewhere now, but the memory of disappointing the people I loved remains sharp. You think your career is your legacy. It isn't. It's a transaction. You are selling the hours of your life to build something that will not mourn you. If you disappear tomorrow, your position will be posted before your obituary. Do not worship something that cannot love you back. So what matters? I will tell you. The only things you keep are what you give away. Time, love, attention, presence. I do not replay business deals in my mind. I replay quiet mornings, shared laughter, small kindnesses, moments that felt insignificant when they happened and priceless now. That is real wealth. So here is my final advice. Kill your ego. You are paralyzed by the fear of judgment, terrified of looking foolish, afraid to fail in public. Let me free you. Nobody is watching you. Everyone is too busy worrying about themselves. Practice the last time. One day, every ordinary moment will be your final one. Let that knowledge sharpen your gratitude instead of dulling your courage. Wake up. You have health, youth, and time right now, and you're numbing yourself with distraction. Go outside. Feel the world. Call the people you love. Forgive what no longer deserves space in your heart. We are all going to die. That is the only certainty. But most people never truly live. They stay safe, stay comfortable, and quietly expire. Do not do that. Do not wait for the perfect moment. The clock is louder than you think. I am tired now. Go live.